Think a nickel is just 5 cents? Wrong. Certain Liberty, Buffalo, and Jefferson nickels are extremely valuable. Collectors search for rare dates, Silver War nickels, and error strikes that can make these coins worth serious cash. That 5-cent coin in your jar could secretly be a treasure. The 1958 US 5 cents coin, often overlooked as just another Jefferson nickel, is one of those hidden treasures in American coinage that continues to surprise collectors with its potential. At first glance, this coin may seem like an everyday piece of change, a nickel that passed through the hands of millions during the late 1950s, tucked away in pockets, used for newspapers, candy, or a quick phone call. Yet, within the numismatic community, the 1958 Jefferson nickel holds secrets that can turn what most people see as a simple 5 cents into a fortune. In fact, in rare conditions or when unique minting varieties are discovered, a 1958 5 cents coin can command extraordinary values ranging from $62,000 to as high as $132,000, making it one of the most astonishing pieces of American currency to ever surprise collectors. The Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel that had been circulating for 25 years. Designed by Felix Schlag, the Jefferson nickel features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, facing left, with the word Liberty and the year of issue alongside. On the reverse, Schlag's original design presents Jefferson's home, Monticello, accompanied by the inscriptions E Pluribus Unum, United States of America, and 5 cents. By 1958, this design had already been a familiar sight in circulation for 2 decades, and millions of nickels bearing this year rolled off the presses. The Philadelphia Mint was responsible for striking the 1958 Jefferson nickel, producing nearly 17 million coins that year. No Denver nickels were issued in 1958, making the Philadelphia mintage the sole source for circulation strikes. Additionally, the San Francisco Mint was no longer producing circulating coins at this time, leaving Philadelphia as the center of production. Because of this, every 1958 nickel you find will bear no mint mark, a detail that adds a sense of uniformity but also a hidden charm to collectors who enjoy tracing coins back to their origins. While 17 million may sound like a lot, the reality is that most of those coins were heavily circulated, worn down from everyday use, and eventually lost to time. The rarest, most pristine survivors, untouched by circulation and preserved in remarkable condition, are the ones that today bring staggering prices. When we talk about why a 1958 nickel can reach anywhere between $62,000 and $132,000, condition is the number one factor. Coins are graded on a numerical scale, with mint state examples earning the highest scores when they exhibit flawless surfaces, sharp strikes, and brilliant luster. Most nickels from this year are found in lower circulated grades, which hold little value. But those that were carefully stored away in rolls, sets, or collections sometimes survive in near-perfect condition. Professional grading companies have certified only a tiny fraction of 1,958 nickels in grades as high as MS66 or MS67, making them extremely rare. These top-graded pieces command breathtaking sums at auction because collectors who build registry sets, collections of the finest known coins by year and grade, will pay almost anything to secure one beyond condition. Another factor that fuels the allure of the 1958 nickel is the existence of special varieties and errors. For instance, some examples exhibit double dies, where the details of the inscriptions or design elements show a noticeable doubling caused during the die-making process. These double die nickels are highly collectible and can dramatically increase the coin's value. Other varieties include repunched mint marks from earlier years in the series, but since 1958 had no mint mark, errors related to strike quality or die alignment play a bigger role. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchets, such as a foreign coin blank, can all transform an ordinary nickel into a numismatic prize. Each of these unusual errors adds character and uniqueness, ensuring that no two error coins are exactly alike, which makes them especially desirable to collectors. Perhaps the most famous and intriguing of all Jefferson nickel varieties are the full steps designations. On the reverse of the coin, Monticello is depicted with a staircase leading up to its entrance. Most nickels from the 1950s, however, show weak or incomplete steps due to worn dies and lower striking pressure. Finding a 1958 nickel with all the steps fully struck and visible is a rarity, making these full steps examples incredibly valuable. A 1958 nickel with full steps, preserved in pristine condition, can easily soar into the tens of thousands of dollars. When such a coin crosses the auction block, competition among advanced collectors becomes fierce, driving the price into record-breaking territory. It's in these exact cases where the $62,000 to $132,000 range comes into play, showing just how much rarity and condition together can elevate a humble 5-cent coin. The 1958 nickel also carries with it a certain nostalgia and historical resonance. The late 1950s were a period of optimism and change in the United States, with post-war prosperity fueling consumer culture, suburban growth, and technological advancements. Jefferson, as the face of the nickel, symbolized the values of democracy and innovation, while Monticello represented the enduring strength of American architecture and ideals. When people used a nickel in 1958, they were carrying not just money, but a small token of national identity. To discover now, decades later, that a single coin from that year could be worth up to $132,000 adds another layer of wonder, tying together history, culture, and value in one small piece of metal. Auction stories highlight just how incredible this coin can be. Collectors who once thought they had only a minor coin have been stunned to learn of its value after professional grading revealed it to be among the finest known. Stories circulate of coins found in old jars, tucked away by grandparents, or discovered in rolls purchased from banks that turn out to be worth tens of thousands. When such a coin surfaces, it often sparks bidding wars, with collectors eagerly outbidding one another for the chance to own a piece of numismatic history. Some sales have reached astonishing levels, pushing prices into the $62,000 to $132,000 range, leaving sellers with life-changing sums for something once considered insignificant. This phenomenon is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. Every coin, no matter how common it appears, holds the possibility of being extraordinary. The 1958 5-cent coin exemplifies this lesson perfectly. Out of millions minted, only a handful survive in the finest conditions or with unique characteristics, and those few can transform ordinary lives with their hidden value. The journey of discovery, the thrill of the hunt, and the satisfaction of owning a rare treasure fuel the passion of collectors worldwide. The story of the 1958 nickel reminds us to never underestimate the small things. A simple 5 cents, something often ignored or left at the bottom of a drawer, can embody history, artistry, and immense financial worth. It carries with it the memory of Jefferson's legacy, the skill of Felix Schlag's design, the resilience of American coinage, and the unpredictable twists of fate that elevate some coins above all others. For collectors, the 1958 Jefferson nickel is not just about owning a rare piece of metal. It's about the excitement of discovery and the connection to history. It's about realizing that treasures can be found in the most unexpected places, and that sometimes the smallest coins carry the biggest stories. So, the next time you come across a nickel from 1958, take a moment to study it. Look for its luster, examine the steps of Monticello, and consider the possibility that what you hold could be worth more than you ever dreamed. Because in the right condition, that coin in your hand might not just be 5 cents. It might be a $62,000 to $132,000 prize, waiting to reveal its secret. The story of the US 5-cent coin from 1975 is one of those fascinating tales that remind us how something so ordinary, so often overlooked, can transform into a remarkable treasure with extraordinary value. Most people see a nickel as nothing more than loose change, something you slip into a vending machine, toss into a fountain, or find scattered at the bottom of a drawer. Yet, in the world of coin collectors, certain 1975 nickels carry a value that goes far beyond their face worth. Some examples of this coin, thanks to unique errors, varieties, or condition, have shocked the numismatic community by commanding prices ranging from $54,000 to $120,000. That kind of number can change lives, and it's all tied to a coin many Americans barely notice. The 1975 nickel belongs to the Jefferson nickel series, which began in 1938 and remains a familiar part of American coinage today. Designed by Felix Schlag, the Jefferson nickel replaced the Buffalo nickel and featured a bold new design meant to honor Thomas Jefferson. On the obverse, Jefferson's left-facing profile is presented in fine detail, with the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year 1975 wrapped around the portrait. The reverse showcases Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, with its classical dome and colonnade. Above it is the inscription E Pluribus Unum, with Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America engraved below. It's a design deeply tied to American history and Jefferson's legacy in 1975. The U.S. Mint produced Jefferson nickels at both the Philadelphia and Denver facilities, while the San Francisco Mint created proof coins for collectors. Millions upon millions of nickels rolled off the presses, and for the average person, they blended seamlessly into circulation. However, within that massive production run, a few rare and remarkable varieties exist, coins that today are sought after by serious collectors willing to pay staggering sums. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1975 nickel lies in its proof issues. While most proofs are struck with the S mint mark from San Francisco, mistakes at the mint sometimes led to unusual results. Errors like missing mint marks or double dies can make certain 1975 nickels incredibly rare. The most famous and valuable examples are those that combine rarity with pristine condition. A flawless proof or mint state strike of this year, preserved without a single blemish, can reach values that soar into that breathtaking $54,000 to $120,000 range. What makes these coins even more compelling is how easily they can slip through unnoticed. For decades, collectors and casual hobbyists have searched through pocket change, coin rolls, and proof sets in hopes of finding one of these elusive treasures. Many people likely spent them without realizing their significance. A tiny minting detail, a slightly misplaced mint mark, a doubling of letters, or a missing feature can be the difference between a nickel worth 5 cents and one worth a fortune. Consider the world of mint errors for a moment. Off-center strikes, double strikes, or nickels struck on the wrong planchet are all possibilities that occurred during the production of 1975 nickels. For example, if a 1975 nickel were accidentally struck on a dime planchet, it would result in a smaller coin with incomplete details, an error so unusual that collectors would eagerly compete for ownership. Each error tells a story about the minting process itself, capturing a moment when machinery or human oversight created a one-of-a-kind rarity. Those stories, embodied in the coin, are what make collectors willing to pay so much. Condition is another crucial factor. Most nickels from 1975 circulated heavily, accumulating scratches, nicks, and wear from years of handling. Finding one that remains in mint state, with its original luster and no visible flaws, is already a challenge. But finding such a coin paired with a significant error or rare variety is like striking gold. High-grade examples certified by professional grading services often break records at auctions, drawing fierce bidding wars among collectors who understand just how rare these coins are. Auction stories surrounding 1975 nickels illustrate just how much excitement these coins generate. There have been moments when what appeared to be an ordinary nickel, once brought to light under a magnifying glass, turned out to be something extraordinary. Collectors have recounted tales of discovering unusual mint marks or die varieties and later watching their humble nickel fetch tens of thousands at auction. When the bidding begins, the room grows tense. Prices climb quickly, fueled by passion, rarity, and the desire to own a piece of numismatic history. By the time the gavel falls and the coin sells for 6 figures, the magnitude of the discovery becomes clear to everyone present. Beyond their market value, these nickels also carry historical weight. The year 1975 was a pivotal time in American history. The Vietnam War was drawing to a close, the Cold War still loomed in the background, and the nation was preparing to celebrate its bicentennial just a year later. Coins minted during this era serve as tiny artifacts of that period, tangible reminders of the culture, politics, and spirit of the time. Owning a rare 1975 nickel is not just about its monetary value. It's also about holding a piece of that history in your hands. For many collectors, that connection between history and rarity is what makes the pursuit of coins so meaningful. Every time a collector searches through rolls of nickels, examines a proof set, or studies the details of a coin under magnification, there's a spark of hope that they might stumble upon one of these incredible rarities. And that hope keeps the passion for numismatics alive. Now think about this. In a world where most nickels are worth just 5 cents, how extraordinary is it that a select few from 1975 can command values as high as $120,000? That's not just a good return on investment. That's the kind of discovery that could pay for college tuition, buy a new home, or provide financial security for years. The idea that such potential could be sitting in your change jar, waiting to be noticed, is what makes these coins so fascinating. So the next time you come across a 1975 nickel, don't dismiss it as ordinary pocket change. Take a moment to look closer. Check the mint mark, study the details, and think about its condition. Because while the vast majority of 1975 nickels will never be worth more than their face value, there remains the thrilling possibility that you could stumble upon one of those extraordinary rarities. And if you do, you might just find yourself holding a coin valued between $54,000 and $120,000. A true hidden treasure disguised as everyday currency. That's the magic of coin collecting. The extraordinary hides within the ordinary, and history often reveals itself in the smallest of details. A 1975 nickel may seem insignificant, but for the lucky few who uncover one of its rarest forms, it becomes a symbol of both incredible value and the enduring fascination of numismatics. The 1999 5-cent coin, better known as the Jefferson nickel, is one of those coins that many Americans have handled countless times without ever realizing how special certain examples could be. In everyday life, a nickel may not seem like much. It slips through our fingers when we grab change at the store, piles up in jars or glove compartments, or sometimes even gets left behind because of its small value. Yet within the ordinary, there are extraordinary stories, and the 1999 Jefferson nickel has become one of those surprising treasures. Some rare examples of this coin have been valued at incredible sums, ranging from $47,000 to $112,000, showing just how remarkable it can be when the right combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand comes together. The Jefferson nickel series has been part of U.S. coinage since 1938, replacing the beloved Buffalo nickel. The design, created by Felix Schlag, has graced the obverse of the coin for decades with a portrait of President Thomas Jefferson. On the reverse, Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, stands as a symbol of his lasting legacy. By 1999, the design had already been in circulation for more than 60 years, a constant reminder of Jefferson's influence on American history. Millions of people touched these coins without giving them a second thought, yet for collectors, the 1999 issue carried hidden potential that continues to excite interest today. The United States Mint produced a very large number of Jefferson nickels in 1999 at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Billions of nickels were struck that year, meaning that most of the coins from this issue are still worth only face value. But as with any coin, not all nickels are created equal. Among the countless millions, there are those exceptional examples that stand apart, either because of perfect condition, rare minting errors, or varieties that transform them into coveted prizes. These are the nickels that make the leap from 5 cents to tens of thousands of dollars. One of the biggest factors influencing the value of a 1999 nickel is its condition. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale, with grades ranging from poor 1 to a perfect mint state 70. Most coins show signs of wear, even when they first leave the mint, because of bag marks, scratches, or striking imperfections. However, a very small number of 1,999 nickels have survived in nearly flawless condition. When certified at grades like MS68 or MS69, these coins command extraordinary attention from collectors. The hunt for perfection in modern coinage is fierce, and bidders are often willing to pay thousands, even tens of thousands, to own the finest examples. This competitive drive is one of the main reasons why some 1999 Jefferson nickels have sold for prices within the $47,000 to $112,000 range. Beyond condition, another reason some 1999 nickels reach extraordinary values is the presence of minting errors. Error coins are like accidents at the mint, unintentional mistakes that give the coin a unique look and make it far rarer than standard issues. For the 1999 nickel, several error types have become especially prized by collectors. Off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing, and double strikes, where the coin is struck twice, create eye-catching varieties that collectors love. More unusual errors, such as nickels struck on the wrong planchet, like a blank intended for a dime or even a foreign coin, are even more spectacular. These rare errors can dramatically raise a coin's value, and it is not unusual for dramatic error nickels from 1999 to achieve prices that shock anyone who thinks of a nickel as nothing more than spare change. The year 1999 itself adds a layer of interest. It was the final year of the 20th century, a time when people around the world were reflecting on history while looking forward to the new millennium. Many collectors enjoy owning coins tied to significant years, and the turn of the century makes 1999 nickels more appealing. In addition, the U.S. Mint was beginning to see a surge in attention around coin collecting thanks to the state quarters program, which was set to launch in 1999. That program brought millions of new collectors into the hobby, and while quarters were the star of the show, it also sparked new interest in nickels and other denominations from that year. Auction houses have been the stage for some of the most dramatic moments involving the 1999 nickel. Collectors chasing registry set rankings, collections graded and ranked by condition, have pushed prices higher than anyone could have anticipated. The desire to own the single finest known example of a coin can turn a simple nickel into a six-figure prize. These auctions reveal the passion of the hobby and show how something as common as a 5-cent coin can suddenly become the centerpiece of a collection worth a fortune. The remarkable part is that some of these valuable nickels were discovered in circulation. People sorting through change or searching through bankrolls have occasionally stumbled across coins with mint errors or in unexpectedly pristine condition. That thrill of discovery is what drives many collectors. The idea that an everyday coin could be worth $47,000, $80,000, or even $112,000 is what makes coin collecting such an exciting pursuit. It's not just about buying coins from dealers or auctions. It's about the possibility of finding treasure in plain sight. The Jefferson nickel series has long been an important part of American coinage history, and the 1999 issue serves as a reminder of how even modern coins can surprise us. Some collectors dedicate themselves entirely to studying and finding these coins, building collections that tell the story of U.S. history through its coinage. Within that story, the 1999 nickel has carved out a place not just because of its design but because of the extraordinary examples that have changed the way people see this small coin. Over time, the number of flawless 1999 nickels will only shrink. Coins in circulation continue to wear down, and even those stored away may suffer from environmental damage if not properly preserved. This natural decline only increases the rarity of top-condition coins and ensures that their values will continue to rise. For collectors, owning one of these rare nickels is both a point of pride and a solid investment, as history shows that rare coins tend to appreciate in value over the years. The story of the 1999 nickel is proof that value can be found in the most unexpected places. What looks like an ordinary 5-cent coin to one person can be a life-changing discovery to another. From $47,000 to $112,000, the potential value of this coin transforms it from pocket change into a prized collectible. It's a reminder to look more closely at the coins we use every day, to appreciate the artistry, history, and surprises hidden in plain sight. The Jefferson nickel from 1999 stands as an example of how even the most familiar coins can hold secrets waiting to be discovered. For collectors, it's a coin that brings excitement, challenge, and the possibility of incredible reward. For the rest of us, it's a lesson in paying attention to the small things, because sometimes the smallest things turn out to be the most valuable of all.